Are you tired of muddy boots and a never-ending battle with farm axes? We were too. So we decided to tackle one of our biggest off-grid challenges, building a DIY gravel driveway from scratch, from the entrance of our land to our cabin. It's about 150 meters long, and I will share with you how much it cost us. Hi, my name is Edgar, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Muddy Off-Grid,
Muddy Off Grid, eh? YouTube channel videos are for entertainment purposes only. If you engage in any of the activities shown in the Muddy Off Grid, videos, do so at your own risk. Consult an expert before operating any tools, machinery, etc. shown in the videos.
When we first bought our piece of raw land here in British Columbia, Canada, there was no road, just a rough trail to drive on. In some areas, like you see in this video, there was not even a trail. This clip shows the first time we ever made it to what we now call the entrance to our land. At first, everything looked fine. We could drive in and out without much trouble. We kept driving back and forth on our road just to reach our place, until the rain started coming a little too often. It got harder and harder to drive through. No, go ahead, go straight, turn that way, and go. Yeah, there you go. Turn more. Yeah, there you go. Hit the subscribe button for more off-grid farm adventures, The more we used it, the worse it became. The ruts got deeper, the stumps started showing through, and before long, we destroyed 2 tires on our truck. We tried pumping water out of the rut, but it never lasted very long. The next day, the rain would just fill them right back up, That was when we realized something had to change. We needed a real road, so we decided to do it ourselves. That decision led us to buy our very first piece of farm equipment, a Case 680G backhoe. At the time, we had no experience building or fixing roads, and certainly no experience operating heavy machinery. We tried to hire someone to help us fix our muddy road mess. But after getting a few jaw-dropping estimates, the highest being 20,000 loonies. No way, Jose, It became clear that we would have to do as much as we could ourselves. That is when we started looking for an excavator, but they were simply too expensive. So we ended up buying a backhoe instead. And honestly, it turned out to be the best decision we could have made. Now, let us be honest. A backhoe is not a very efficient machine. Everything that you can do with a backhoe will take longer than doing it with a machine that was built for that specific job. But, like I always say, we have more time than money. And that makes this backhoe the perfect partner for a farmer like me, I use this backhoe to skid logs, to plow snow, to lift timber for the sawmill, and even to help build lean-tos. And this is why this backhoe makes the best partner for farmers like us, Once the backhoe was on the land, the first job was scraping off the topsoil. That is a non-negotiable step when building any road. With the backhoe, it took me about a week to get all the topsoil removed, but it was the perfect job to learn how to drive and operate it. I had a lot of fun doing that work, If you would like to buy me a coffee so I can work faster, you can hit the super thank button right below the video. Keeps the diesel flowing and the garlic growing, After the topsoil was removed and put aside, it was time to bring in gravel. Riprap and pit run. Riprap can be used for many different situations. The way I use riprap is to provide a solid foundation when it's required to fill in big holes or ditches. Riprap is a mix of big rocks, from 6 inches to 12 inches. The type of rocks will depend on the area that you live in. The gravel companies use riprap to make the other types of aggregates that are used for construction. Pit run is an aggregate that is found in natural gravel pit deposits. You get all kinds of plant seeds and all types of sizes of rocks in the mix. I used to mistake pit run with road mulch. Pit run is naturally found in gravel pits, and road mulch is made by the gravel companies, so there is a quality control over the size of gravel. Road mulch is very expensive compared to pit run. The main reason that I like pit run is that it's the least expensive aggregate I can find for what I need. Now, this is pit run. Some of it is fine, but it is also full of big rocks, just like this one here. And this makes it tough to spread evenly. Riprap provides a very strong and stable foundation and protects the soil from erosion. Over the riprap, then I spread a layer of pit run of about 4 inches or so. For our driveway, we need a riprap and pit run. We used about 5 loads of each. Back then, each load cost us about $250, including delivery. Today, after COVID, the same load is around $350. We needed the riprap to fill in a big hole we had in our driveway, and we filled it in with about 5 load of riprap. We had to install a culvert, and then we put pit run to make the surface of the road smooth. So far, everything seems to be holding up nicely. It took me about 2 days to spread the pit run throughout the entire driveway. I managed to lay about 2 inches of gravel over the full stretch. Here's how I did it. I dumped the load of pit run, and then I spread the pit run with the front end bucket. Then I drove back and forth over it. The backhoe weighs about 16,000 pounds, so I am using its weight to pack the pit run down. Here it is, the pit run, spread and compacted. The surface isn't perfect because of these big rocks. If I want it smoother, I just top it with some road mulch. What I learned from this project is simple. For a road to last, it needs a solid foundation and the right shape to shed water. When you need to fill in a deep hole, use riprap. When you need to smooth the top, use pit run. And if you need ditches or a culvert, get them done, eh? Out here, a well-built road is more than convenience. It is survival. Every rock, every scoop, every muddy day brings us one step closer to building a self-sufficient life. One load at a time, eh? So, the whole driveway, 150 meters from the entrance of our land to our cabin, cost us about 3,000 loonies. That's about 20 loonies per meter. As you can see, the backhoe has paid for itself a few times over, eh? Thanks for watching. See you next time. Hit the subscribe button for more off-grid farm adventures, eh?